Guys? Thanks for tuning in to Red Zone Blitz. I'm here with David from Wake Up It's Football and James from James Carter TV. Today we'll be discussing topic of MJD recently going back to camp and 3 predictions around the NFL. So we'll get started. MJD reported to camp after a long 38-day holdout. David, do you think he should have held out longer or just reported the first day?
To be quite honest, I think a little bit of both. Not only did he hold out for almost a month, or actually more than a month, but he was getting fined $30,000 a day. And I mean, when you look at it, I mean, if you do the math, that's a lot of money. So, not only do I agree with partly why he held out, because he puts up the numbers every single year. Last year specifically, he had over 1,600 rushing yards, so you can't disagree with him holding out. But at the same time, he is I'd have to say at least 55-60% of that offense. Look at who they have. Look at what they did last year. Blaine Gabbert, rookie quarterback, he didn't do much, and I'm just not a fan of that offense besides MJD. So yeah, hold out, but to the extent of what she did, I'm not too sure he should have held out for more than a month.
Yeah, James, what's your take on that?
MJD, I have no idea what you're doing. First of all, you hold out. You're getting fined, what was it, $30,000 a day. And for what? For nothing? You ended up, what is it, like $1 million now that he has to pay in fines? Honestly, it's ridiculous. He does deserve it. Absolutely, without a doubt, he deserves the money. He is the Jacksonville Jaguars offense. He led the NFL in attempts. He led the NFL in yards. He is the Jacksonville Jaguars offense, and he has had to put up with their crap for the last, I don't know how many years. They're not playoff contenders. They won't be for at least another 2 years. Honestly, they should have paid the man, MJD, but you gotta stick with it, man, because Sadid Khan, or whatever his name is, he knew that, oh, well, MJD's a nice guy, he may, if we just wait this out, he'll come back. MJD, you gotta stay constant. You gotta hold out. You gotta go into the NFL season, and then when the Jaguars start losing, they'll want to pay you, and you'll be back.
All right. Well, first game's this Wednesday night between Tony Romo's Cowboys and the defending Super Bowl champs, the Giants. David, who you got in this game?
I'd have to say I like the New York Giants at home, simply because, I mean, the defensive side of the ball, comparing the two teams, I like the pass rush that the Giants bring. Offensively, I think both offenses can put points up on the board, but it's just going to be a matter of who can stop who. And like I mentioned, you got Justin Tuck, Jason Pierre-Paul, OCU Manura, a couple other guys on that defense that can bring the pressure on Tony Romo. And Tony Romo has shown that once he's under pressure, you pretty much have that game wrapped up. So I like the Giants in this matchup. As to the score, I think it might be closer than some people might think. But like I just mentioned, I like the Giants at home to get the W over the Dallas Cowboys.
James?
I also like the Giants in this game. I think it's going to be similar to what was last year, the last game of the regular season. It's kind of be like that, where the Cowboys, Tony Romo's doing a good job, but they just can't get anything done, and the Giants are just getting their way on offense. Brandon Carr's already talking smack, saying, oh, Victor Cruz ain't going to be doing his dance on Wednesday. We'll see about that, Brandon Carr, because guess what? I know you're going to be playing one-on-one coverage with this guy, but I'm pretty sure that he's going to find a way to get past you. He's done it all year. There's a reason he had 1,500 yards receiving. I'm going with the Giants. The Cowboys, they still have too many problems. They have injuries happening. I still don't like their defense. I mean, sure, they got a couple cornerbacks. Not a big fan of their safety, so yet. I mean, they could improve, but, and Claiborne, he's still a rookie, and he's doing okay so thus far. Got to go with the Giants here. Got to go with the Super Bowl champions.
All right. Well, we got a rematch from last year's playoff between the Steelers and the Broncos. Broncos have the new face and Peyton Manning. It should be a good game. James, who do you got?
I got the Denver Broncos. I think Peyton Manning is going to come out with his debut for the Denver Broncos. He's going to look pretty good. I like his weapons more than others with Demaryius Thomas and Eric Decker and his tight ends, Jacob Tamme and Joel Dreesen. Trust me, I know what Joel Andreessen can do, and he's going to do a lot for this Denver offense. Same with Jacob Tamme. I really think the Broncos are going to come out here, do well, pretty much stop the Steelers' offense. I really don't like the Steelers' offense this season. I don't think it's going to look that great, and this game could expose that. And we're going to have to see what happens, but I got to go with the Broncos here.
Joel Andreessen, really? I don't know about that one. But, I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you on Peyton Manning, because Peyton Manning is one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. But I think we need to see how Peyton Manning is going to get this offense, how he's going to lead them down the field. I think he's going to need a couple weeks to do that. Now, I'm not going to disagree with you on the fact that you did say the Steelers offense is going to have some trouble, because I do agree with that. Mendenhall's out. Ben Roethlisberger has been banged up, but you can't forget they got a lot of young guys out at wide receiver. Mike Wallace reported back into camp. I like that they can stretch the field vertically, so do not be surprised if this is going to be a shootout. One thing that must be noted here, they lost a couple guys, a couple of their rookies. I believe their third-round pick, their inside linebacker, I forget his name. That's a season-ending injury, and a couple of the guys in their linebacking core are hurt. But besides that, I still like the Steelers' defense to get the job done. Do not sleep on Troy Polamalu. The guy is a monster. So I like the Steelers in this matchup over the Broncos. I think Peyton Manning in his season debut gets a loss.
I got to disagree with you. Troy Polamalu, I mean, come on. This guy's, he can't even eat cereals anymore without having diarrhea. This guy's getting too old. I really don't like the Steelers in this game. They lost David DeCastro. They had faith that David DeCastro, their first-round pick, will be able to do a good job in the interior offensive line. He's out with a torn MCL. His ACL is fine, but that MCL is snapped up. And when you're talking about, you don't know about Joel Andreessen and Peyton Manning's going to need some time. Peyton Manning's not going to need any time. This man is a field general. He will construct this offense. He will lead this offense. No problem. You plug him in, he will do well. He is Peyton Manning. I don't care about the neck. I don't care about this is a new team. Peyton Manning will do well with the Denver Broncos. He's been working out them since March. They know what they're going to do.
I never said that Peyton Manning is not going to be successful in Denver, but you have to, do not forget that the man has not played a snap of regular season football for a very long time. It's been since 2010. So you gotta agree with me in that aspect, because I mean the rust needs to get knocked off a little bit. Now as for Polamalu, you are absolutely out of your mind, because I don't know who disagrees that Polamalu talking about cereal and diarrhea. I don't know what you're talking about, but the point is Polamalu is a monster, and anyone who disagrees with that needs to get slapped upside their head, because that is just outrageous.
And where was Troy Polamalu when he was facing Tim Tebow in the playoff game against the Denver Broncos? Where was Polamalu then? Because what I saw was Polamalu actually doing a terrible job in coverage, blitzing Tim Tebow, and then Dick LeBeau saying, "Oh, I don't know what he was doing." What was up with that?
If I knew I was gonna get on this show to be talking to Skip Bayless, I wouldn't agree to this. But the point is, you can't sit here and talk about Tim Tebow tearing up a Steelers defense when they won in overtime, okay? Because if he tore up that defense, they would have won with a great score. I don't know what you want to call it, 38-10. That's a great score right there. If they won 38-10, then I'll agree. Yeah, he beat that defense, but he had to win in overtime. So I'm not going to agree with you, and here's the other thing. Polamalu was one player on that defense. So let's hold off on Tim Tebow beating Troy Polamalu.
All right, moving on to our next matchup. We got a great offense between Green Bay and a great defense between San Francisco. David, Green Bay fan, you going for your team here? You think they can pull a win?
Yeah, I'm going to say Green Bay wins this weekend, or next weekend, I should say. I'm not going to take any credit away from the 49ers. I think the 49ers are a great team right now. Alex Smith last year had his career season. They bring in weapons for him at wide receiver. Even Randy Moss. Don't sleep on Moss this year. And then their defense. They have all their starters back this year. And I think their defense is still going to contend, be a top 5 defense in this league. So when you look at it, I think it's going to be a close game, but, I mean, offensively, since this is a passing league as of right now, you look at the Packers' pass offense, you look at the 49ers' pass offense, and you got to favor the Packers the Packers offense right now over the 49ers. Defensively, I like the 49ers over the Packers. So I think it's going to be a close game, but I think the Packers are going to come out with the W on this one.
No doubt to me the Packers are going to win this, and it may be a little farther apart than people may think. Aaron Rodgers is a stud, and he's gonna have some problems with the San Francisco 49ers defense, but it won't be that noticeable. Aaron Rodgers will tear that up. And they're getting Greg Jennings back. He's had some injury problems, but he's back. Jordy Nelson, y'all know what he can do. It's just too much for the 49ers to deal with. And we saw what happened last year against the Giants. I think it's going to be something like that. But like I said, I think the Packers are going to win a little bit more than that. Because I think that Green Bay is just tougher. And I believe, where's the game? Is it in Green Bay or is it in San Francisco?
It's in Green Bay.
And in that crowd, I think it's just all going to get to Alex Smith. We all know when Alex Smith is under pressure how well he does. Well, he did do well, actually, against the Saints, but not very well in the NFC Championship. But I got to go with the Packers to win this game.
All right. Well, that's all we have for you today, guys. Tune in next week. We'll have a new episode for you. Subscribe to us below, and thanks for watching.